Howdy, mates. Good afternoon. This place look familiar to any of you? Oh, and happy Monday, by the way. But yeah, does this look familiar to any of you? In case if it does, this is, of course, the Stump Pass Beach State Park. Within the past week or so, this park has finally reopened at long last after recovery of the hurricane. So essentially where we are at the moment, we're actually near the pass itself. So Stump Pass is essentially where the Lemon Bay Estuary meets with the Gulf. And given how breezy it is today, winds coming from approximately the northwest, we do actually have some decent wave action today. But one thing I wanted to point out while I was standing over here is we actually have an invasive plant that inhabits a pretty good portion of Florida's coastlines, especially on the Gulf side. So let me show you guys. Alright, you guys see like the large shrub in front of me right here? Yeah. So what you're looking at is something known as a Beach Naupaka. And its Naupaka was actually named after a queen that lived in Hawaii. And this is, of course, referring to the indigenous people. Now, with that clue, this plant is originally native to parts of Hawaii, but it was basically brought over. Now, it's difficult to say whether it was brought over by man or if it was just simply brought over by seed that was traveling in the ocean and made its way over here. It's very difficult to tell. But anyways, given that it is invasive, it has this tendency to have rhizomatic roots. So it has this capacity to basically spread so easily. And there are indeed two varieties of Beach Naupaka. I believe in this case, we're looking at, based on this one, this is a smooth texture on the leaves. So you could say that this is the toccada variety. And then there is another variety that starts with an S, but I can't exactly remember it right off the top of my head. I'll put it in the description, of course. But for another look for with this plant is the flowers. You see right there up close, you see like those white little petals. Well, as you can see, the whole flower assembly, it is only like one half of it. That's essentially how it forms. The flower never forms a full circle. It's always a half. And I believe, in folktale, that's the symbolism that Naupaka never got to marry the love of her life. And so you could say that she was basically half complete. So in a sense, you could say that's how the plant essentially gets its name. Alright, give me just a second. Alright, here we go. So I had a chance to walk down the trail a little further. So notice how this shrub looks a little similar to the Beach Naupaka? Well, as a matter of fact, they actually are close in relation. However, though, this particular plant is known as the inkberry, or a secondary name is gallberry. Now, rest assured, this actually is a native variety, as a matter of fact. Now, apparently, it is said that the inkberry is in relation to the hollies, based on some of the points that may be present on the leaves. It's difficult to say because I'm looking through and I'm not exactly seeing those points that you would see on a holly. But apparently it is, according to some of the sources that I was using. Anyway, inkberry, they're known to have these dark looking berries that would kind of remind you of blackberries. Now, the thing is, you don't necessarily want to eat them just because they're not exactly good for you upon ingestion. You may get some like symptoms of diarrhea and whatnot. However, though, it is noted that the indigenous would use the leaves, they would dry them up, and it would actually make a black tea. And the best part, too, was this particular plant isn't filled with caffeine. So you could say that it's more of a natural type of, it makes like a more natural type of drink. I'm not saying that caffeine isn't, but not everyone wants to have that particular boost. So, inkberry, given that it is a native, is much smaller in terms of its overall composition. Yeah, just look at this. Oh, man. It's nice to, like, explore here again. See some of the sand dunes. You could say Stump Pass has finally had a chance to have a little bit of a reset button. You know, due to less volume of people being here, Stump Pass has had the opportunity to kind of catch a breath. So, alrighty. Thank you guys for watching. And for those of you who have been curious, you know, for those who live around here, whether the place is reopened yet, Stump Pass is open again. So it is available to explore. So, alright. Take care, you guys. Enjoy your Monday. And Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks. See ya.